Hi, welcome back once again to Women Wellness with Blush and Curls, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite subject, that's makeup. I'm a huge makeup junk and I love collecting makeup from everything. Foundations, concealers, powders, lipsticks are my favorite, eyeshadows, all of them. But I have started using makeup lately at my certain age. I have not started putting makeup when I was a teenager. So that, that has actually helped me in having a healthy and most importantly, a flawless skin. Now what happens when you have a makeup or you want to put a makeup, it has become one of the most important part of your life nowadays, that you can't live without a makeup, and it's a fact. So it's actually a confession that every woman, a lady, in fact some men also get into makeup nowadays. So let's discuss about what are the things that you need to take care when you are going to choose a makeup, or what are the things inside the makeup. The first and most universal question, what is a makeup? So when you go to a salon or spa, or when you go to any kind of beauty destination, people think that you just go to apply makeup, and that's not a fact. So there are so many steps into a makeup that you need to take care, or you need to know that what kind of makeup are you going to choose. This is the most important thing. There are n number of things in makeup nowadays that's available. So to list few of them, there's like foundation, you have the powders, you have blush, you have highlighters, you have mascara, eyeliner, kohl pencil, eyeshadows, lip pencils, lip colors, lip balms, lip gloss, matte lipsticks, so many of them. I mean, the list is endless. So let's cut down and put down. The things that you see around my table today are one of the few things that I have it on a daily basis. I use it on daily basis. But at the same time, these are something that I carry with me mostly when I have any kind of shoots, or I have any meetings, or any important things, or any occasions that I have. By the way, this is endless. I just managed to get few of them for my today's video, but I decided to show you what are the things that comes under makeup. So let's start from the base. When you want to have a flawless makeup, or a makeup that doesn't show very much, it's very important to also have a proper beauty or a skin routine. If you haven't watched my first video where I spoke about my how to have a healthy and a flawless skin, then what is the wait for? You should go and refer to that video and see that what I have mentioned in that, what are the 7 steps or the skin routine that you need to take care. But out of that, the most important 3 ones are that you have to cleanse your face every day, you have to exfoliate at least twice a week, and then you have to apply a proper moisturizer depending on the skin type you are in. After you do this, the makeup that you apply, it will actually give you a lot of better look when you face either the camera, or you just take a normal photographs, or anywhere that you're in, what makeup do you put on. So let's start from the base. When you do a makeup, the first important thing is that you need to have a right primer. I keep telling this on all my videos that I'm a person and I'm a believer that when I choose a product or a brand, I invest a little more higher so that I don't compromise my skin. And there are products that is available at a certain very low cost of about 20 dirhams, and you can actually get a proper product which is above 100 or 200 dirhams. So the most important thing is that you need to know your skin well, and you need to choose a product which is free from alcohol, from fragrance, from silicones, from parabens, these kind of things. If you know and read the ingredients, if you read the label, it is much easier. The best part about makeup is that you always get to try. So this is something that makes your life much easier. You can choose, you can try the product, and then you can choose whether you need to buy that or you don't buy. Do not buy a product by anyone else for. So it's very important that you choose the right product and see. So these are few of my primers that I use. The most important, the basic step after you have finished your skincare routine is that you choose the right primer. There are a lot of primers available in the market. Depending on your skin type, you need to know that what primer is best for you. For me, I always choose a primer which is free from silicones, because I have a very sensitive skin and I sometimes tend to break out. If you try to use a primer which is without silicones, it will actually help to reduce your sensitivity. At the same time, it will also not clog your pores and it will not break out. You need a primer to have a flawless and a healthy makeup when you put the foundation on, but it is very important that what primer you choose. So you can have a primer which is to close the pores, to give a matte effect, to give there are also so many moisturizers and serums that also act like a base primer before you apply the foundation. Now coming to the next and the most important thing is to choose a right foundation. Most of us, even I have done that a lot of time. Mistake is that choosing a very wrong foundation. This has actually made it will actually make your whole look or the makeup look entirely go very wrong, and you might see that your head is different from your body, which you don't want to get into. So when you choose a foundation, there are so many types of foundations that you get. You get a liquid foundation like these ones that I have. These are some of the brands that I really love, and I have been using them for a while now, for years now, and I see that they don't give any kind of breakout. But I always keep on trying new foundations because a lot of people come to me and ask me that what is the right foundation that we have to use, so I should have the knowledge of doing that. Okay, so you have the liquid foundations, you have the stick foundation, which looks something like this. So mostly I always recommend all my clients, my family, my friends, that you always try and use a foundation which is liquid foundation. The reason is that if you have a liquid foundation, it will also help in blending well. If you're using a stick foundation, and nowadays you get this, the cushion foundations as well, this will actually make, if you're not professional, if you don't have the right brush to apply the makeup, maybe the foundation might look cakey, and somewhere it will not look very good, it will look ugly. So for me, the best part is that I use foundations which is liquid. Now, what are the things that you need to take care when you try to buy a foundation? This is a universal question again. So when you choose a foundation, never apply a foundation on your jawline or on your forehead or on your cheek. And the thing is that always in Middle Eastern, there's been a culture that they try and use a foundation which is a little bit darker or same tone. The reason is that that makes you look slimmer. So, but what happens is that when you go out and when you dress up, you tend to look very dark. The other thing that has been a practice, and I have tested by myself, when you use a darker foundation or the same tone, your skin breathes. Like the skin is one of the biggest organ that you have in your body. It breathes. So when it breathes, what happens? It starts pulling in all the pigments inside the foundation, and that becomes your actual color. So if you have a foundation with the pigments which is darker, you will start looking like a darker skin. Actually, it's not your skin, but you will start looking like that because you started applying the foundation. Over a time, you will start seeing that your skin has picked up the color of the foundation. So what is the best way to choose a foundation is that always apply a foundation on this part of the skin, that's on your hand, and where your veins are there. If that foundation, the color blends in well, that's the actual color of your skin. So you have to pick that same foundation color. Never go one with which is on your face, because your face is exposed. Most of the time you always tend to have a darker skin, or you're tired, you're coming from somewhere, you're working, or you have even roamed around the mall and went to a beauty or a department store to buy a foundation, and you end up buying the wrong foundation. The second most important thing, it's a small tip that I always do, is that when you choose a foundation, apply the foundation, ask the lady, the beauty advisor, to try the foundation all over your face or even half part of your face. Roam around the mall, and I go and finish my shopping and everything, and after an hour or so I come back. I go first to the restroom and I check the foundation under that light. The reason is that when you're going to a beauty or a department store, you have those very bright lights and everything looks nice inside those lights. So what happens is that when you want to choose the right foundation, especially or the powders, try it and do your work, and then come back and choose. Take a day or two and then decide that whether you should choose that foundation or not. This will also help you in giving that if there's any kind of irritation or you get any kind of itching, then that's not the right foundation for you. So these are the small tips that when you choose a right foundation. Okay, so and you also get a BB cream, you get DD creams, which is tinted, and you can apply it on a daily basis if you really don't want to use foundation. I always encourage my customers, my friends, my family, that makeup is very good. Keep applying the foundation, because we are on one of the hottest climate of the world, so in Middle East. So when you apply, you finish your beauty routine, and if you have an SPF on and you put the makeup on, it will take some time those pollution or the UV rays to penetrate your skin, because you already have a couple of layers. There's one more thing in foundation. If you get a foundation with SPF 15 or 20, also helps you, because this also protects you from the sun or the UV rays. So that's the thing. Now coming to the powders, there are some beautiful powders that I use. I always go with the loose powders, because this makes your life much easier. If you have a compact powder, I really don't like them. The reason simple is that when I apply, I feel some part of the skin still remains like cakey, and it looks like there's a patch or blot around your face. So I try and use to be on a safer side is the powders, and there are some very beautiful brands that has a flawless look. At the same time, you can use the powder to blend it well. Then you have the blush. So choose the right blush, never go with orange. Know your skin very well. Before I go to the blush, is also important thing that I wanted to know when you choose a foundation. If you have an oily skin, never go with a foundation which has an oil base. And if you have a sensitive or a dry skin, never go with a foundation which has like essential oils, alcohol, fragrance, which is allergic, all of those. So read the label before and ask the beauty advisor, is this good for sensitive skin? For me, I always pick a foundation which is good for sensitive skin because it works for all the for all skin types. So that's the easiest one. Then you have like blush, so you go with the blush that applies. Now you have the contour, you can apply with the contour. Then you have the lipsticks, lip balms, all of that. It's very important that you always carry a lip balm. It's just a myth that lip balms are good only for winters. No, actually lip balms with vitamin E, and vitamin E, if you find it in any of the beauty products or in your skincare routine, it's one of the best vitamin because it is also called as a beauty capsule, and it also helps in reducing the lines. It also helps in reducing the spots and the pigmentation. It also gives, and it also helps from premature aging. So vitamin E is a great vitamin that if you find it in any beauty product, I think you should go with it. So lip balm is very important even for summers because you keep dehydrating, and if you keep applying the lip balm even on any top of the lipstick, it will stay back well. The other most important thing is that these brushes that you see here, they are very important. But the most important thing, even that you use the brushes, is that you have to clean the brush with a proper brush cleanser. So use a brush cleaner, put it on a tissue and then apply it like this one. This is a brush cleanser that I actually clean all my brushes in every 2 days if I use the makeup every day. If I don't do the makeup every day, then I clean it like once a week. You can also do a deep cleansing like by washing it with baby shampoos, and then cleansing it and then leave it for drying for a day and then reuse it again. You have to clean your brushes because remember that brushes they have bacteria. There might be a worm, or they need a warm or a cold host to sit and multiply. The same thing that I explained in my last video about waxing, it's the same concept with the brushes. So if you have any damp stuff and it is not clean, the germs or the bacteria might increase and then you might have trouble. So that's the reason that you have to clean your brushes. There are wild number of brushes that is available for brush, for blush, for foundation, for eyeshadow, for contouring, for highlighting, everything. Most of the time I try using my hands when I do the makeup, but nowadays I'm also getting used to the brushes. So that's about the brushes. Then you have the eyeshadows that you can go with either a subtle look or a nude look on the daytime, and you can go with a dramatic look on the nighttime. The other most important thing is lipsticks. Most of the people have this myth that the other day I was reading about an article, and one of my friends, like a lot of customers, they come and ask, no, we don't want to use lipsticks. The reason is that lipsticks might make your lips go darker, it might turn it to black. Yes, it does, if you're not choosing the right product. Like I mentioned, if you go for a lipsticks worth of like 5 dirham, 10 dirhams, then you must know what is the content inside that. The most harmful content inside a lipstick is lead. So if you find a content inside a lipstick which is with lead particles, so the pigments are very strong, that can cause the darkening of the lips. So try and avoid the lipsticks which are with lead, but there are most other beautiful brands available which can be used, and I use matte lipsticks as well on mostly every day, but I have not got any issues. But apart from that, I always scrub my lips also in every 2 days, and I keep my lip balm always handy with me so that I can use it any point in time. So keep moisturizing, drink a lot of water, and apply the right product, then you might not have all these kind of issues. So the last and the most important thing is that when you go to sleep, never put the makeup and go to sleep. Okay, that's that you find it in soap serials or in the movies that when you put on the makeup and when you wake up in the morning with all your eyelashes and mascaras and lipsticks on, those are just for the shoots or for the film productions that they do it. But actually on a daily basis, you have to remove your makeup with the right makeup remover like these ones. You can have the gel based, you can have oil based makeup remover. Depending on your skin type, choose the right makeup remover. remove everything and then cleanse your face, apply a night cream and always an eye cream as well, and then you can go to bed. So these are some of the important tips that I decided to discuss today at my video. I know it's not enough, but I tried to put in as much as information I could. Hopefully if you guys liked it, you have any more questions, always feel free to WhatsApp me about anything with regards to makeup or skincare routine, or you could also send us in the below links that is mentioned on our Facebook or Instagram. We would love to assist you and give you all the tips that you need, or if you have any doubts, I'm always happy to assist you. Till then, I'll see you next week with a new episode with a new topic, and I hope you liked it. Please do subscribe our channel, like and share the videos. Thank you. God bless. Bye bye.